Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome. So, in today's video, I'll break down a potential upside for gold first. Then I'll break down my buy from the morning earlier, like today during agent. Then I'm gonna give you a couple of key points, for scalps too. So in case like if you got like a daily level, a weekly level, an hourly, 4 hours level, how do you expect like the market to actually like react from these areas? And hopefully so far, by like trading the 1 hour time frame and the 1 minute time frame, you actually know that each level got rejection, right? Each level got rejection, but it requires like a good attention first for you like to keep like to stick inside in that position, or just exit, right? Or just leave it. It's based on price action. So okay, let's start first with my buys. Good. Let's start first with my buys, because this is the first thing I've done, which is my buys. So if you all remember, during the webinar we had on Sunday, which we had our analysis, yeah, we said like there is a potential to the downside, right? And that was like our main, like our favorite direction, which is like the downside. However, we also said what? We also said that this region might just cause what? Might just cause some struggle and shift in the market. Why so? Because if we look at the daily is just bullish as fuck, right? Daily was looking just bullish as fuck. Yeah, definitely it was like creating a resistance in here. That's where we got the push to the downside. But we can also consider this push to the downside as sort of a liquidation for a major push to the upside, right? And we even talked about it. However, we were expecting some kind of like 1810, but it's not necessarily like actually to be on point always, right? That's not our case. So what happened is if you just zoom in, and see this first rejection, the market rejected from this area, this one in here, you can see it's a bit aggressive one, plus fast and loaded with the momentum, right, and volume. However, we got the push to the downside from this region, because this was where the market opened. If you remember, this was the open price of the market, right? So definitely the market was loaded with orders, and it was during New York too, so lots of volume. So you expect the market to actually like drop from it and give like a big rejection. But I didn't even like execute this buy like as a whole. I took a couple of scalps, as you seen like in the trade recap, but I didn't take it as a whole because I wasn't even expecting it. TBH, as we discussed, like, yeah, I was like, it's a max till 2034, like till this region we might like get a rejection, because we look to the left, we see this nice support, right? So we know definitely once market reaching this bottom wick, which is like loaded with what orders, you can see the size of it, the length of it, the market is gonna trip around it and give like an upper side push, right? So that's not just the case. So however, when market got rejected from market open price, what happened is, first we got the first wick. Good. That's what I said, no buys, because we're not sure yet, right? We're not sure yet. Daily looking bullish, everything bullish, right? We're not sure yet. We might actually at this point get some kind of sort of a continuation to the downside. But then we got this first week, and then the second week, that's when we came across like a validation, right? But however, this candle was showing what, a kind of liquidation for this week. But this week got what, This we got support in the middle of it. So that's why I created this bullish engulfing candle. So at this point, I wasn't even like up for buys at all. I wasn't even like watching the market. I was already done for the day. So, but then if you start noticing this, what happened is we got New York, the close of New York, or like coming from the mid of New York to the close of the New York market was ranging around what? Market was ranging around this support, which is like pretty loaded. We can see it's pretty loaded. We can look on the daily too. It's pretty loaded support, pretty loaded demand. It doesn't matter the name you call that level. Support, demand, sensitivity area doesn't matter. Good. Buyer's block, seller's block, it doesn't really matter what you call it. So New York was from the mid of New York till the end of New York, the close of New York, market was just ranging around this. Market was basically ranging around this set of prices, right? Between 1830 and 1826 or like 25, let's say. Good. So, however, market closed, market opened, and then Asian opened, right? And you can see that even like during the Asian Open, you can see even during the Asian Open, that we got like 30 minutes on the right now. So we see more details inside these hourly candles, right? So we can literally see inside the Asian Open what happened is from this area, from this region, sorry, we got like the first bullish engulfing candle, right? Plus, market was rejecting the whole time from this support, right? And New York basically didn't even push to the downside no more. And New York didn't even push to the downside no more, which is telling us like if New York couldn't even like push through this support, the downside, then forget about this downside, it's done. Because the major volume through the day is like during the overlap and New York. Not even London, London is like for FX pairs and stuff. Like they got like more volume. A couple of them, not all of them, but the major volume is coming from the overlap and New York. So if New York couldn't even like push through this support and keep on consolidating on top of it, good. And then we have like market open and Asian open, and we see like my first buying entry, just pure price action. It's my inner support, right? Kind of a mid range too, because this is a whole range, right? So we got like the first confirmation which is like this bullish engulfing candle or like piercing bar, whatever you want to say it. But you can see what the details of it, it is actually telling us. So now it's like, yeah, it's done. This this range is done first, and this downside pressure is done. And we got them Biden winning this electoral votes too. Good. And they're dropping the stimulus like this, I don't know, like 900 billions worth of dollars. That's lots of like lots of squeezing like for the dollar too. Which is what? Which is telling us like, yeah, we're good to proceed to the upper side, right? We're good to proceed to the upper side. Even we can look at the 4 hours too. You can look at the 4 hours. Our price did is basically created a sort of a liquidation, and in fact, yeah, price pushed down, created this bottom wick, then took took off from the support and closed as well as a bullish engulfing candle back inside this level 2. Good. Different explanations, different reasons to, but it's like the same ah the same result. Good. Or like as they say it, like always like take to Rome or whatever. I don't know that proverb in English. So that's for the buy. That's for the buy. TBH, my my first TP was at 1836, which is in here. 1836. Wait, let me make sure. No, 1837.7. That was the first TP. So that's done for the trade I took. And yeah, because it's like I just didn't want to like annoy myself. This was actually my entry. This candle. I didn't want to stress it that much. I was, yeah, fuck it. Let me just drop my stop loss down, because I didn't want to like mint or nothing. It's my last trade, so I didn't want to just like have lots of trash in my head. And I kept a runner too, and that runner I closed it at. I just closed it 41. Close it at 41 or 41. Yeah, I closed it at 41. And yeah, other entry techniques, other you get like other entry techniques, which can be like a buy stop above this what? Above this resistance. Good. And however, after this candle, after this liquidation candle, what we got is we got like the confirmation for like the potential upside. And then yeah, we know for sure that it's reaching this resistance, then it's gonna drop like the next candle gonna drop like a bottom wick. The bottom wick is gonna go to where to next support, which is like in here, right? Then you can like get another entry. Again, it broke out because there is like momentum and the market is moving in like a bullish direction. So you expect like the candles to keep on doing like higher highs and higher lows too, right? You get the breakout of it. You get the breakout of it. You can buy the retest, keep on moving to this region. And you can see this region here. You can see this region. You have first push, second push, but still liquidation candles too, right? You still get like the first push, second push, but these are what? Liquidation candles. And the fact that the market broke out actually and pushed through this supply, which is like the fact that people don't know what validation is and liquidation is. Because you look at this week too, you be like, fuck, I'm a sell now, right? And then you start like seeing boom, 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 boom to the other side. So that was like for them buys. Good. That was for them buys. Let's delete everything now and just go to our weekly. So what we said on Sunday on the weekly chart, on the weekly time frame was like yeah, we might get what? We might get a rejection from the 1820, and that rejection might actually shift the whole direction, right? Why so too? Why so too? Because even when we look at the weekly, even when we really will look at the weekly time frame too, this wasn't even bearish, right? This wasn't even bearish, and the price closed above the previous week, which gave us some kind of liquidation. That's why we favored the downside on Monday. Notice it's just on Monday. I say the sell is just on Monday, not the entire week. It's just on Monday, right? To create a kind of sort of liquidation for the whole week, because it was just like too much news during the weekend, like too much news during the weekend, and too much news to be consumed good as buys directly. It's like it's not a good price to be bought at. Good, it's not a good price to be bought at. And if the market is gonna push further up, what's gonna happen is we need better prices, right? We need better prices. So that's for the weekly. A weekly is stuck between like this range, this range. Then we go to the daily, and we see that after these weeks, after this week and this week, there is nothing to hold back until the 1870, right? Until the 1870. However, for me, it's just like the whole volume of this candle is gone for the day. Good. Am I actually push further up, or am I just like, yeah, like go down, create another support, then keep on pushing up? Because even if we look at the 4 hours time frame too, even if we look at the 4 hours time frame, price is still showing some sort of like rejections from this region, right? But however, it depends on how this 4 hours candle closes first. This current 4 hours candle closes. If it closes like this above this wick, above this candle too, then we got what? We got some sort of a liquidation. Then next candle is gonna push a little bit down, and then we take it to 1859. Good. Then another rejection from this region to the downside, then again boom up. Good. However, the main movements are going to be tomorrow and after tomorrow and Friday for this week. Good. These are like the main movements because you have this candle, this daily candle, which is basically your validation, Your candle, like this daily candle, is your validation for further upside potential. Good. This is the daily time frame. We get like a nice push to the upside, a first, an A, then we get like a B, right? A B coming from a strong what? Strong daily support, sorry. Even we can go to our what? We can go to our base too, right? Can go to our base. And have a nice look. And we can see this is the 1838.4 is an actual what? Psychological level, right? Is an important one. And it's been holding to. It holded this candle, it holded this candle. Yeah. Forget about these wicks for a second because these wicks are the liquidation. Good? Are actually the liquidation of the movement. So we need the wicks for further what? For further volume into our direction. But however, once it breaks that for 1848, then we got nothing to hold it until the 1860, right? And then the 1874. We can even look at it like this. So yeah, this 4 hour is closing in 40 minutes. It's gonna give like lots of decisions to be taken around. Good. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. I'll keep my eyes on gold, even like yeah, after my wedding, even like when we go like to our honeymoon, I'm gonna keep my eyes on gold a little bit for like swing purposes, not for scalps, because if this is going to go to the upside, if this is actually like going to the upside, I don't want to miss this shit. I want to be on board too. Good. Yeah, for that I should have like left a runner, but I just took like a 37 and I closed a 41. Everything. So I should have left a runner most probably. But yeah, we do mistakes. That's why we are humans. That's how we learn to. Yeah, that's it for gold, TBH. That's it for gold. You all can wait. Let me. Okay.